So we've had plenty of interest in the last video, so we'll push it a bit further, shall we? So we're going to start with Nick H's comment. Nick H's comment, 8.17 to the gallon. well, let me tell you. Now you're not gonna like what I'm gonna say, but you've just got to sit and think about it. These are the most efficient vehicles on the road. These are the most efficient way of moving goods from A to B. So we'll have a look at the weights in a minute because I haven't put it on, but this, you see these, at this moment we're carrying cardboard, so, which is great, but it's goods, isn't it? This is goods, right? Doesn't matter what it is. It's the most efficient way of moving goods around the country, around the world. Now, and I'll show you in a minute. I'll show you once we've weighed in. We've come in, we weighed in, we'll know how much we've got on and weight. It's the most efficient way of moving goods around. Now, everything you're wearing, everything you're going to eat today, everything eventually ends up on trucks. The trucks move everything, whether it move the raw material to the factory, whether it be refining the turning the raw materials into a product and then turning that product into another product, moving stuff from factory to factory, making goods, and then those goods then have to be sold to you, whether they go to a shop or a warehouse, and then they've got to be delivered to you. So, and even here now, we're in a recycling. I mean, to be honest, recycling has been really good for the transport industry. It's created a hell of a lot of work, a hell of a lot of jobs. Forget about the reason you do it, which is recycling. Just the logistics of dealing with recycling, as the mileage this stuff does, just the logistics of moving this stuff around has created so much employment, so much work. It's really been healthy for the trucking industry, and of course for the planet, because it's recycling. So anyway, let's wait here now. We're on the ramp. They're going to load us. They're going to load us. So it's going to be. We'll look at the figures and how efficient we are. But at 8.17 miles to the gallon, I'm still the most efficient vehicle. The Arctics are amongst the most efficient vehicles on the road. And I spend all day knocking around local. I don't do up and down the motorway, long distance. I like to be home every night. So we started at 6, and very unusual. Yesterday we finished nice and early, but we didn't do many kilometers at all. We'll probably do a few more hours today, and we'll probably do a bit more kilometers, but it's still not very far to what some people, long haul. I'm not although it's a long haul truck. I don't do big mileage. So we started at 54542 and we ended at 54704, which is what we started this morning. So let's have a look at that when we finish tonight. So I could be completely wrong. If I don't know, I won't know. I don't tell you. That you can turn the reversing beeper. If you're working late at night, you can turn your reversing bleeper off. That's what that is. I'm not sure what that is, because there is a working light switch on the back of that. But anyway, that could be electronic sliding fifth wheel. It's got locked, so that's quite you can't press that as you're going along. This is the DPF. They're self-cleaning. The exhaust. They now and again you have to press the button, and I've never really done much with those. It's the fitter thing, and it sits there and revs its knackers off and cleans itself. Yeah, cycling. There's hill hold. There's two sorts of hill hold on this one. There's that for a hill hold, which is automatic, which is the same as the handbrake. This is the handbrake, and it's automatic, like what's on the cars. But this has got a brake. I can hold the rear brakes on this. If I pull this up like this, it puts just the trailer brakes on. So if I want to hold it manually, I can. Right, I'll be back with you in a minute. So where were we? Oh yeah, here. So that's self-leveling. You know, I can lift the suspension up and down on the back to get under trailers. Oh, the old days you used to have to stuff yourself under with springs. And you pick an empty trailer with no brakes on it, you'd push it out of the way, or somebody dropped the trailer a bit low and you had springs and you had to jam yourself. It was a loaded trailer left a bit low and you had to virtually crash yourself into the trailers to squeeze the suspension down to get underneath them. So it's been a godsend, that has. There's a mid-lift because it's a 6-axle unit, mid-lift and a mid-steer. Traction control, that's, you leave it on all the time, but you know, if you get stuck in mud or gravel or even snow and you want to get going, you can turn your traction control off so that at least you can spin the wheels up if you need to. You very rarely use it, but you've got it if you need it. That's for if you're in, you know, you get yourself trapped, or it's a lot of weight. It's a lot of, you've got to watch where you go with these because you crush the ground, you get stuck. You know, you're in, if you're using that, you're in a bad spot. Oh, there's diff lock. We don't want that. There's diff lock to stop one wheel spinning up. So again, we know diff lock. This is collision control, which is great on these new trucks. All the better. We don't want to be hitting things. Well, that's only for the crazy drivers that drive up. As you know, one of my favorite things is keep a good gap. You know, only a fool breaks the 2-second rule, so hopefully I'm not a fool. And again, lane, you know, if you cross the lane, it makes a noise. It can be annoying, but it's there for your own safety, so it's worth putting on. And if you don't cross the lane, it won't buzz, will it? So don't cross the lane. This is the temperature and the night heater, air conditioning, all that sort of, you know, all that sort of thing. This is the music control. I'm sort of going, now that, I looked at that, I'm not really sure what that is. I'm sure somebody out there will tell us what that is. VAS. And we've got a little button here. There's the rear working light, look. So I can put the lights on in the back. Here's the lights. Here's the ordinary lights, you know, the fog lights, front fog, rear fog. They're like a lot of new cars now, automatic. Hey, I tell you what this does, it spots the speed, it reads road signs, it tells you what speed you should be doing. Goes down here. Obviously sunroof, we've got an electric sunroof. We've got all the lights on the up here, and this is the tachograph. This is what, you know, it monitors what you do minute to minute, whatever the truck is doing, you know, its speed, its distance. And then these little symbols here say, are you loading, are you unloading, are you driving, are you resting? At the minute I've put it on brake because I'm sitting here doing nothing. And then of course these are the interior lights that you can turn on, and you can make them bright and you can make them dim. And you can put just the side ones on or just the middle ones on. There's lights everywhere over this. The good thing about the Volvos, and of course the newer trucks now, they're way more better lit up than they used to be. But they interesting to see. The thing is, It's all right having all this electrical gear and all the rest of it, but let's see when this gets to be 15 or 20 years old. It'll be interesting to see what survives, you know, what switches survive. Yeah, so anyway, let's, and yeah, it has got a microwave in it. I know some of them have coffee machines in them as well. But, so I'll go through the buttons as I find them for you. Oh, again, thank goodness we've got cigarette lighters. So we can plug our stuff in, auxiliary lights, you know. This is that distance thing. That'll be part of the protection on the front, and same electronic. You're well, these days now, you're well covered, you know. It's they've got everything that your poshest, best cars have got. Generally come to the trucks first. Yeah. And then all your controls here, look. To lock the door, and then there's your window up and down, and then you've got your mirror controls here, look. You've got mirrors here and mirrors at the bottom. You can control them left and right, up and down, and we've got heated mirrors, look. So that's a good thing. The old days you used to tie a bit of rag to the end here, and as the wind would knock the rag around, it would clean the window for you. Yeah. And the gap here is great on these Volvos. This gap has saved many a shunt, because you used to lose them. Do you see the mirror? When the mirrors were closer to this pillar here, there was a hell of a space there. You could lose several cars, or you could even lose a truck behind it if you weren't watching. You know, if you looked and there was nothing there, they were hiding. So this in the Volvos, because I think it was Volvos that started them all off, that's been a really, really good thing, creating that gap there. And of course I can see in front of me, you know, we're so high up. How can I tell you how? This is where your driving position is, this is where your eyes look. But we are, you can hide a person and a car, and we've all seen the videos, haven't we? You can lose a car under there, the trucks. I don't know how they've done it, I haven't done it yet, but you've seen the truck drivers pushing cars down the road and saying that they can't see them. Well, you can't see them bit is true. How you wouldn't hear them or whatever, but that's another story. But you can hide a complete car. So if you're like a zebra crossing or something, it's always worth giving it a flash, just in case there's somebody pushing a kid in a pram or somebody walking. It's always a good idea to just flash your eyes up there, because driving these trucks, the main thing you do driving these trucks is mirrors. The difference between, okay, there's the size difference and the weight difference and all that sort of a thing, but the main activity on the difference between driving a car and a van, a car and a truck, is mirrors. There's a little mirror to see down the side if there's a car up the side of me, look. Yeah. So the main thing, how I do it, or sort of do it, it's mirrors before everything, and then you look at the dash, you look at the mirror, and then you look at the mirror, you look around, and then you look at the dash, you look at the mirror, and then you look at the mirror, and then you look all around. We live in our mirrors. We live in our mirrors, yeah. So this is the same, indicators, flash the lights, that there. This one here gives you windscreen wipers and the speed of your windscreen wipers, all that sort of a thing. Now this here, look, this is your exhaust brake. So we all know we can use our foot brake, but on the trucks you have an exhaust brake. So you can make the engine help slow you down, keep you under control. Because, you know, imagine one of these fully freighted going down a hill. It's important to not let the thing run away, because, you know, I'll show you the weight. We're probably going to be top weight. If you start going down a big steep hill, or even a moderate hill, you have to keep them in control, because otherwise they'll just run away on you. So that's why you can use your engine brake to you know, keep the thing at the speed that you want to go, and you're not standing on your foot brakes using up your air, because they're air operated brakes, and you're not warming your brakes up, because you come down a long hill, the friction and the heat and the effort it takes to, you know, to squeeze them discs, they soon get hot. Not like the old days. The old days you daren't use your foot brake much, because they just warm up, heat up, and then lose their efficiency. Everything, all the modern stuff is much more improved, so much easier. The old trucks, when I began, what did we say, 30 years? So 30 years, I would have been given an old truck, maybe 10 years old when I first started, as you do. You know, you begin in the beginning, don't you? So go back to 40-year-old trucks. It's a completely different world. It was a skill then, to learn, to stay alive, to move stuff around them days. Now it's so much better, so much safer. As the cars have improved, the trucks have improved enormously. So let's think about what we're doing as inefficiency. Look, we could have gone another 5 ton on top. I can run at 44 ton. I come in at 16,880. Well, we've got nearly quarter tank. So if you're running, it could have been a lot more heavier because of fuel. And if you were running twin tanks, 500 litres a tank, you could have come in a lot heavier. We're carrying 22 tons. So try and think about 22 tons. The average car is about 2 tons, say, you know, give or take a bit. So you're talking about 10 cars moving, you know, efficiency. That's without volume. At the moment, I'm only 40 foot. So a lot of the trucks, the curtain siders you see are 45 foot. The post office ones, they go to 50 foot. You get some of the big long ones. But if you can imagine 22 tons, how would you move? If I said to you, right, I want you to move 22 tons just in weight, forget about the size of the thing, whatever it might be, the volume of the thing, just purely on weight. How many vehicles would it take, smaller vehicles, from tractors and trailers, 17 tonners, 18 tonners? So it makes, we've gone to 8.424. So at 8.24, it seems a bit steep on fuel, but balance that out to the weight that we're carrying of goods, you know, and it doesn't matter what the goods are. And yeah, it could be the volume of goods, but in this case it's the weight of goods, and I could carry a bit more. It just shows you, that makes that the man, the vehicles, the men hours, the congestion on the roads. Although you think we're big and smelly and horrible, we are the most efficient way of carrying goods on the roads. So this morning I already had an empty container on from yesterday, so I went and loaded it. So now I'm going to get rid of the box that I've got now, and then I'm going to put a loaded one on as per instructions, and I'm going to go and deliver that. And I've only done, how many miles I've only done, where are we on the mileage? 54770. And what did we start on this morning? Let's have a look. What did we start on this morning? We started on 547,704. So I haven't been far. I don't go far. My next one's not very far away. So I've got to go to B9 4EP. Oh my God, that's right in the middle of Birmingham. This is going to be fun. So I'm going to deliver 29 ton. So, okay, that other one was 16 coming in, but that was including a box. So I've took 4 ton off, haven't I? But I'm putting 29 ton on. So this is going to be a heavy arse load. This is. I knew yesterday was too good to be true. So the traffic gods are making me pay today. The traffic gods have decided to give me a beating today because I had such a good day yesterday and flew around. So this is where the fun begins. Where we want is where that truck's got his flashers on. But this truck just turned up in front of me. It don't look very good, so we're on double yellows. We're just gonna have to dump the truck here, run over there and find out what the crack is. So there's 4 in front of me. There's a guy that's in there now, in that doorway where that truck is. There's the one with the blue flashers, and then there's another one to the right down the road here waiting to come in. And there's this guy here. And the poor bleeder behind me, he's got his arse in the road. He's asked me to come forward. Hopefully, this place looks empty, so hopefully I won't jam. And there's not many marks on the floor, so hopefully there's nobody using this gateway. So we've got some sort of chance, but I'm stuffed up here on yellow lines. They're stuffed up over there. So you just gotta wait your turn. You just gotta wait your turn. So I've managed to move forward to where the black truck was, and the black truck has moved forward. Well, at least I'm off the double yellows now. The only thing is now I'm on a restricted time parking. I'm taking up 4 car parking spaces, and you see on the floor, and it's one of them restricted car parking things. So at least I'm getting closer, aren't I? There's another container turned up. Where the hell is he going? And have I got a bit of competition on now? I'd say so. He came down the street really slowly. He came from the other end of the street, so look, he's going really slowly. I wouldn't be surprised if he's going to try and get in here as well. Oh no, look, he's gone. He's buggered off. He's either that or he's decided to come behind the queue or something. So I think the threat is over of that. But he's loitering, I think. There's a good chance he'll end up behind me. So the problem is now, when you've got another container coming in, depending on what they've got, now it'll be booking time. So if he's late, they might do him, make me wait. I'm a 1 o'clock booking time. At the moment it is, let's turn the ignition on, come on. At the moment it's just on 1 o'clock. Just on 1 o'clock, so I'm ahead of and on my booking time. If he's behind, let's say he's a 12 o'clock booking, they might want to do him, or if they're desperate to the stuff that's in that container more than what's in my container, they might tell me, right, we want him first. That's the trouble. Queuing is okay, but if these people, the customer, decides that somebody else is more important than you, you've got to do what you're told. There's nothing you can do about it. So sometimes you can, somebody can come along and they've decided it's something more important they want off the truck or whatever, or however, and then you're back to square one again. Oh, and by the way, look, the fuel consumption did go down. It didn't like this load. It was a bit heavy. But can you imagine? Okay, we've got 13 litres, 6 cylinders. A litre is 1,000 cc, so we've got 13,000 cc's, 13 litres of an engine, 6 cylinders. We've got 540 brake horse on this. and the gearbox is amazing. So can you imagine? We're pretty top weight, so we're probably 42, 43, no more than 44 ton, but we're pretty close to the top. Can you imagine the effort it takes to, obviously, you know, it's got to come out of the engine, it's got to go through the gearbox, then it's got to go down a shaft, a prop shaft, hasn't it? And then it's got to go through a diff, and ultimately it's got to turn a shaft which turns the wheel, which then pushes this along. I mean, talk about black magic. It must be a huge, how the hell do you even begin to think about or design or make this to work? And then on top of that, putting a marvelous automatic gearbox in it that you don't feel the changes. And of course it would be bad enough pushing the truck on the flats like you would push your car on the flats, but sometimes you have inclines, sometimes you have to come out of a junction on a hill or something. It can only be black magic, can't it? How they get these vehicles to do this, to pull this, like we say, including the box. That was 29 ton. That was declared at 29 ton plus the truck. So the truck was 16 ton, but that had a 4 ton box on it, so it was a 12 ton box and a 30 ton load. So yeah, 42, 43 ton we're sitting on. Just imagine, it must be, imagine even beginning to make that happen. Wow, we humans are so clever, aren't we? We're so, I know it's evolved, but even so, to get a machine to pull this sort of weight around and to go all sorts of places, it's a miracle, really, isn't it? It's an absolute miracle. So that's the danger of these little electric scooters in the middle of the road. 2 up. How dangerous is that? You get run over by a car or fall over and bang your head. They're bloody dangerous. So he is going in now. He's going in, and the guy behind me, they're letting him go first because he's only got two pallets. I've got a container full. He's only got 2 pallets, so they're going to let him in first, and then after him. So he'll go there now. He'll go the side of the road there, and then when he's done whatever he's got to do, and when he's done his 2 pallets, then I can go in. Oh, hey, there might be light at the end of the tunnel. So this guy that was behind me, he's got 2 pallets on, so he's going to go there. I'm going to move forward onto that spot because those cars have gone. The trouble is, this sort of situation, another truck might come along and just sneak their way in there. So I'm going to move forward to there now. So clawing it, just as I was moving on, just as I was moving, this guy, this taxi arrived. So I gave him the thumbs up. I says, yeah, you stop there, mate, I'm going to come along. So anyway, he's moved along. Obviously he's waiting for somebody, so he's picking up his fare. So let's just fill this space whilst we can, because we were a bit, do you see there, the arse end was a bit too close to that gateway for my for somebody fair play to come in and out of it. So I've come here now, and let's see what happens. So at least now we're closer to the building we want to be. We come into this gyro. Look, you get a lot of places like this, in back streets, in back roads, and we just cause havoc. And what can you do with it? You know, you can just do what you can do and just stay calm. The secret is, be nice to everyone, be polite, say please and thank you, and just you know, just deal with it. Because sometimes in these situations you don't half get some people, they get themselves right riled up, and all they're doing is letting themselves down. Yeah, just, you know, do what you can. It is what it is. Just got to get on with it. Oh, little update. A bloke approached me. He says, have you got the water? I says, don't know, mate. It's a sealed container. He says, is it heavy? I says, yeah, F me, it's heavy. Oh yeah, you've got water. So it looked like I've got pallets of water on the back of here. I guess pallets of bottled water. So that sort of makes sense, doesn't it? Oi, we got movement. Oi, 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 we got movement. That looks like that's a way out. Yeah. So let me now go over there where the blue one was. We shouldn't be long now. Oh, look at this guy, look. He's got one of them new urban doors. Yeah. See the glass in the door. Oh, hold on. So let's have a look why it was so heavy. Look. Bottles of water. Oh, 40 foot of water. So that's why it was as heavy as it was. Water, bottles of water come in on a container. So yeah, look, this is the new Boris truck. See the glass? You can't see, can you? Yeah, see. So if there's anybody here, the driver can see. You can see the difference in height. Look. See how this one? They're quite high, aren't they? This is an urban unit. With you can go into London with these. Comes under the Boris regulations, doesn't it? What's it called? Transport for London things. Yeah, you have to have certain things like cameras and bleepers and all that. So that can go into central London with them. They were years and years ago. We used to have little windows there, but they were breaking in through them and all sorts. But they've come back now. Yeah, so they're quite clever, them, because you see him, he can see down low. If you've got a push bike, if you're on push bike, or if you're even stood there, I've got no chance of seeing you. Only if you're in close, I can see you, but only if you're in range of that mirror. So it's a much better. I mean, some of them have a screen here that come on. There's all sorts of devices being made, but the only reason it's not safe to have a glass there is that because they were breaking into the trucks through the little windows years and years and years ago, you know. But you know, it's funny how things come back into fashion. So that's got like an urban door, and it's an altogether lower unit, isn't it? Less intimidating than me. Yeah, so this is the driver. I'm just asking him, do you like the window in the side, the urban window? Is that good?
Yes, it's okay. Yeah, it's safe for the...
And did it save you? Have you seen a few things?
Yes,
oh, thank goodness I had the window. Yeah?
It's okay, yeah.
So it's a good thing?
Yeah, good thing.
Okay, lovely, no problem. He's not going to go and try and get around there, is he? He's not going to make it. He's not going to make it. Unless he's moving now. Oh, no, he won't make it. I'm going to help him. I thought he was going to take my nose out. But no, he had another bite, so I went out to watch him. Anyway, he's got out, look. Do you see his tracks there? He's got out, he went way onto the pavement there, look. And went really wide. But he was right by the side of me. I'm thinking, there's no way he's going to go around there. He's going to catch me. Do you know what it's like? When you've got something really nice, you don't want anyone to come near you. You're very aware of it. Don't even come near it. Forget about trying to scratch it. So it's 2:15. I reckon half an hour to tip. So what time we got here? We booked in. Well, it was a 1 o'clock booking, but we came here at 12, didn't we? Just before 12. So it's the norm. This is sort of normal. Nothing too quick, nothing too slow, sort of thing. We just got to wait and get tipped now. Well done, that man. Well, he's gone now, but there's a man there with a stick, and you can't see much at all. He's all right, but his stick, you can see he's working his stick. There's a, oh, careful, that, you see, we nearly, but anyway, there's a gentleman there, you can't see much at all. Anyway, he was crossing the road, he came here, and fair play, the car saw him and stopped, and then let him cross the road, and then turned. You know, we shout out bad drivers, but I'm going to shout out a good driver. We just saw a really good, careful driver. Saw the man had the stick, stopped, let the man pass, and then carried on. Yeah. So just keep an eye on him now. He'll stop on that curve. Look, here we are. Look, he's found the edge. You can see he can't see hardly much at all, but he's continuing around now. Watch him get to the other end of that curve now. See what he sees. No, he's pretty good. This must be his usual local patch, you know. But yeah, unfortunately we've missed him, but there was a really good behaved driver, as we all as good drivers would have behaved, or hoped we would have behaved. So we shout out the bad ones, and we also shout out the good ones. Although we never saw the good one, did we? So I think I'm possibly a victim of shift change here, because they haven't touched me. I can see people coming and going. I think the morning shift didn't want to do it because it was coming to an end, and the afternoon shift doesn't want to do it because they've just come in. So I think, if I had to hazard a guess, I am a victim of shift change, and that's why I'm still sitting here waiting to get unloaded. So because turn ignition on, because they're very heavy pallets to be pulling out by hand, I'm just going to alter the suspension for them now. I'm going to raise the suspension. We've got the controls here, look. Do that. See? Pushing that up now. Leveling off the box for them. But slightly downhill. I'm going to push the weight up. Yeah. There's still a lot of weight in it. But as they take weight out of it, that'll pick up better now. So yeah, push that up. Let's give it a bit more. Give it a few revs. Hold on. Yeah. So what I've done is I've lowered the back of the trailer down for them, and I've raised the back of the unit up. So I've sort of leveled it. It was on a slight down angle. I tip it anyway, but I've lifted the front too. So when they're lifting those heavy water pallets by hand and trying to shove them out, and as the weight comes off, it'll be, but because the weight is squashing everything down, as it gets lighter, the pressure, because it's only air pressure that controls everything, the air pressure will expand everything. So I've just got to make sure before I drive away, put that back on road height automatic and put this back on road height, or else otherwise I'll be driving around with the suspension right to the very top on the front and right to the very back on the trailer, and it could catch your chassis or your chassis rails under your units, because you're driving along bent, as you might say. So whenever you do this and help them, make it easier for them, you've got to make sure you level off the truck before you set off. So you can see how much that's gone up by, because the weight's come off it. So let's use the controls now then. Lower it down. They are. Otherwise you catch the chassis on it. It's coming down now, like. You need some pressure of air to do that working now, haven't you? Yeah. That's great. We can self-level it now, and it'll be fine. Yeah. So it's 3:30, and we're ring up for our next job. So I'm back here at the railhead by the cranes, going to get rid of, obviously I've got an empty box now, and I need a job for tomorrow. So I've got the job for tomorrow. I know what I've got to pick up, take that back to the yard, and then deliver it in the morning. That's the beginning of tomorrow's job. But this is where you get caught out in the queue. This is where tick tock, and it's time to go home. But meanwhile, I've got to wait in the queue to get the box off, the empty box off, then to be able to put the full box on, ready to go back to the yard and start in the morning. So you just never know what's going to hold you up. So the one I'm picking up, look, it declared at 2 NAD, so another full box, another heavy box, a full one, yeah. for tomorrow morning. 40-foot high cube is the tall boxes. Dry van is a standard one, and if it's got tape, or it's one is 14 foot and the other one's 14 foot 5 on your trailer. Yeah, not 40 foot 6 on the trailer, so that's a high cube. That's a tall 40 foot of that. So here is the end of my day. I started at 7:30 on 54704. I finished at 6:30 at 54862. So I don't go very far. It takes me all day to not go very far.